Again,
605-9663.
there you have it, folks. The best deals in town for all of your needs. Capital Lumber, located on Parkgate Road. Thank you for joining us on Deals Crazy TV. I'm your host, Keishan, and if you would like to be a part of this amazing show, please phone us at 4.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, the Prime Minister charts the way forward. The PLP convention a wrap. Service and sacrifice rewarded. And in sports, the ITF Junkanoo Bowl underway. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Everyone, I'm Jimenita Swain and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. After 2 consecutive days, the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention has concluded with all the formal speeches. A ball is set for tonight. Last night, though, the nation's leader addressed a packed room at the Baumar Convention Center, laying out his government's immediate plans for the way forward. Central to his overall theme was building on progress and driving new change. Carla Palma reports.
Flying to buy his many supporters, Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis, took some time to reach the convention stage. And once at the podium, he reiterated his government's ongoing mission of creating real change for Bahamians and residents alike, not just a favoured few, but all. Advancements upward the economic ladder for more residents he has as the intended destination.
There's still too much economic power concentrated in too few hands. That's why we are the New Day government, because the old day left out too many of us. We are going to help more Bahamians turn their talents into businesses and have small Bahamian business become big ones. Our government has opened the country's first ever trade office to help Bahamians entrepreneurs to find export markets.
To this end, the Prime Minister is also fully committing to the terminology Bahamians first.
Employers are on notice. Work permits will not be approved if a Bahamian is qualified and wants that job. Let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone. And if there isn't a Bahamian in that position now, they better be training one to be ready when the current work permit expires.
He outlined his government's accomplishments since coming to office 2 years ago, like restoring the economy, with tourism among leading destinations in the region, increasing the minimum wage, building multiple affordable housing developments, and more. Still, he readily admits there's more left to be done, like bringing down the cost of living, although inflation is a problem globally. But to local wholesalers and retailers came this.
When your prices reflect global inflation, it's one thing. That's understandable. But when you keep your prices high, even after we cut your import duties, because there ain't enough competition to cause you to lower them, that's something we cannot tolerate. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Touting changes everywhere, not only here in New Providence, but throughout the Family Islands, Prime Minister Davis implored that values and policies matter. And that's the difference, he says, between the Progressive Liberal Party and the Free National Movement. Unlike the FNM, he says, the PLP's vision has always been dedicated to the service of Bahamians and not a privileged few.
When the PLP wins, the Bahamian people win.
Prime Minister Davis noted true democracy in action. And now, with the race for chairmanship of the party over, he congratulated all those who participated.
It's the Bahamian people who look to us. Bahamians only move when the PLP is in power. And for us to be in power, we have to stay together. And I want to acknowledge Robin Lyons for her work that she's been doing. I want to thank her. I want to thank her. And I want to thank Fred Mitchell. And I want to say to all of us here, thank you all for participating.
A tribute was also paid to the late Cabinet Minister Obadiah Wilshcombe, with all members of the House joining the Prime Minister on stage. The next immediate test for the PLP will come on November 22nd, when residents of West End, Grand Bahama, and Bimini will go to the polls to elect a new Member of Parliament in this year's by-election. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, the Fox Hill Member of Parliament and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, retaining his post as PLP chairman after defeating challenger Robin Lyons. During Friday's voting at the PLP convention, Mitchell securing 875 votes, while the former PLP chair Lyons received 630. Desmond Sanders has more.
It's a repudiation of negativity, and it's support for my humanity.
A vibrant show of support following incumbent Fox Hill MP Fred Mitchell's strong win for chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party after Friday's closely watched race that garnered national attention over the last several weeks. Flanked by party supporters, Mitchell says he's humbled by the show of confidence.
My thanks to the Prime Minister for his support, and most of all to all these people here who voted for me. It's actually quite a humbling feeling.
Scores of PLP delegates casting their votes in Friday's ballot, a heated race in which former Senator Robin Lyons challenged Mitchell for chairman. At the end, Mitchell retaining the top post. He remains optimistic about the road ahead.
Winning the by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, that's job number one. And then in the longer term, we got to get I think we have to get a convention center, because one of the things that this showed was that this is inadequate. The hotel is inadequate. We need a purpose-built facility for us. And then to get the legislation passed to create the Progressive Liberal Party as a corporation, so that the assets of our trustees are not at risk for the debts of the party.
Moments after her defeat, challenger Robin Lyons expressed gratitude to her supporters. She and former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson now forging ahead.
It's just a tremendous sense of gratitude for me tonight, to God and everyone that supported. Listen, we went up against every odd that we could possibly face in this race. And 43% of the votes to 57%. Listen, it was a feat tonight. And I feel so proud, so blessed. And tonight, we leave one party, one voice, one mission.
This is an institution, right? This is an institution that's 70 years old, where persons know about winning, persons know about losing. So I don't think you would ever find a case where the party is not unified. The party is always unified. But despite being unified, you have contests.
The final night of the PLP's convention showing both Mitchell and Lyons locking hands in unity on stage with party officials and Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Still to come in the weekend edition, prison officers celebrated recently. The details of that and more after the break.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a Sand Dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving Sand Dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
Digital wallet providers.
It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Do you hear that? That's Junkanoo. And that means that the Boxing Day and New Year's Day Junkanoo parades are right around the corner. Don't get left behind. Make sure to book your ads in the live ZNS broadcast of the Junkanoo parades, the most professional coverage of our national art form. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800. Ask for the special Junkanoo advertising package and be a part of Junkanoo on the ZNS TV network.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Thanks for staying with us from the Overnight Crime Report. A busy weekend for detectives who are now investigating a stabbing and holding a 23-year-old man and 2 women in connection with possession of an illegal firearm. First, officers from Operation Ceasefire seizing a pistol and a quantity of ammunition from 3 young suspects who were passengers in a burgundy Nissan March shortly after 10 p.m. Friday off Robinson Road. Police then called to the scene of a stabbing where a 19-year-old man received multiple wounds about the body following a heated quarrel Friday afternoon in the area of Marathon Road. Now, police following significant leads into that matter. Investigations underway into both incidents. Well, Deputy to the Governor General Ruby-Ann Darling hosting officers of the Bahamas Department of Corrections in the Garden of Government House on Thursday. The purpose, a ceremony to award the officers for their many years of service. Anthony Smith has this report.
With service comes
sacrifice, long sacrifices.
But with sacrifice comes reward.
It's been 18 years, 7 months, 3 days. And this is the first pen that I've gotten in that amount of time.
The names of more than 60 Bahamas Department of Corrections officers added to the annals of Long Service Award honorees, pinned for their dedication of more than 18 years, 30, and in Principal Correctional Officers Foster Ferguson's case, 25 years.
When we joined the job back in 1998, the concept, mindset was almost lock them up, throw away the key. But at the end of the day, as time and exposure, you realize that if you're not a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem.
That solution, correctional reform, as the facility looks to shed its long-held harsh reputation. The prison looking to head towards proper accreditation with its devoted officers at the forefront.
It is because of your passion, persistence, perseverance, patience, hard work, and countless sacrifices you have made that and have all helped in the transformation process that the organization is presently experiencing.
And here's how.
Make sure that they get what they're supposed to get whilst they're in there, and we teach them before they go out.
If we only reach one, if one officer just reach one resident, that's, I would consider a milestone. That's someone that you won't have to worry about that can come out and be a productive citizen.
And with that, the country thanks them for their service. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoine Smith.
Well, bumper-to-bumper traffic could be felt throughout the island of New Providence yesterday, and apparently for a very festive reason. That's the participants of the annual Public Service Parade making their presence felt, traversing through the streets on floats, all with bells and whistles, fringes, and tassels. Governmental agencies from the Department of Health to the Ministry of Economic Affairs could be seen showcasing their pride for miles. The ever-exciting event is just one in a series to mark National Public Service Week. In this week's Rewind.
We aren't taking sides this weekend, but the Progressive Liberal Party did indeed throw quite a party this week as it held 2 days of convention at the Baha Mar Resort.
PLP!
to my alma mater and the greatest school in the country, perhaps, Aquinas College, where the next generation of culinary professionals are hard at work in the kitchen, doing their part to support Bahamas Striping Group of Companies' Let's Make a Difference initiative, which is looking to provide 10,000 hot meals nationwide this Thanksgiving Day. These students and their teachers were quick to jump on board. To Principal Shauna Knowles and the Aquinas College community, we simply say, go Aces. The kettles are ringing, which means it's holiday giving time. The Salvation Army has launched its annual Red Kettle campaign. It's a program that started more than a century ago to help the underprivileged among us. This holiday season, be sure to dig deep into your pockets and give what you can. We all know a very little can sometimes make a huge difference. The streets were lit. After being delayed by a week, the National Public Service Week Float Parade took place over the streets of New Providence yesterday. No need to say much because the images say it all. Hey, if you see this lovely woman this weekend, be sure to wish her a happy birthday. Our Makush Lapinder is blowing out candles today, and we wish her our very best. She lights us up each evening with her smile, and so we send her a very big one tonight because a smile helps lighten the load, and it never costs a thing. I'm Corvell Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight Weekend Edition. In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation and the Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center have joined forces once again. Their mission, to provide much-needed support to small and medium-sized businesses through avenues like financing, property access, and partnerships. This partnership actually kicked off in July of 2019, and now they've renewed their commitment.
Today, I am elated to see the collaboration between BAIC and SPDC come full circle as we signed another memorandum of understanding. We have provided entrepreneurs with land for farming and touristic development and assist with business plans for their project. But many of them continue to be challenged because of lack of funding.
Since Chairman Major took charge, approximately 250 individuals have been given the opportunity to acquire land for a range of purposes, mainly on Abaco and Eleuthera. That said, BAIC General Manager Troy Sampson says there's also been an aggressive effort by the corporation to have land leased.
There's been a number of leases that took place on the island of Abaco, where we have some 20,000 plus acres, as well as on Eleuthera, where we have approximately 3,000 acres. And we've had a lot of uptake over the last 2 years with regard to leases. And so a lot of those persons who are looking at using the land either for industrial, for agricultural, or touristic purposes will benefit now from this arrangement with SPDC, because oftentimes, and especially with leased land where the land cannot be held as collateral, a government guarantee can do wonders to permit them to get funding.
Now, when it comes to financial assistance, Samantha Roll, the executive director of SBDC, has some insights to share.
The SBDC provides funding through loan, equity, as well as grant. Through our flagship program, the Guaranteed Loan Program, we can provide funding up to $1 million and guarantee up to 90%. That particularly are within special cases. Usually, we provide funding up to $500,000 and guarantee up to 75% for that particular program. However, the SBDC have a number of other programs, grant-related as well, that can support within the work and any clients that come through this arrangement.
Roll says this signing is extremely timely as the month of November marks National Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Month.
A month focused on highlighting and celebrating micro, small, and medium-sized businesses throughout the Bahamas for their economic impact, community involvement, and resiliency, specifically during turbulent times.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
This is ZNS Total Sports. ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
Welcome to Saturday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The National Tennis Center was busy with action today as the ITF U14 Junkanoo Bowl kicked off its opening round matches. Dozens of local and regional tennis players in action trying to lock up their spots in the finals later this week. We caught up with the BLTA official as well as a pair of young tennis aces.
Well, this is the first time since pre-COVID, in about 4 years since that we've had it. It's an international event. It's sponsored or ratified by the regional body, which is called COTEC, which is all the countries in the Caribbean and Central America, including Mexico. And we have 38 players this year from 8 different countries. So the girls' draw is a little smaller than the boys, but still we expect these are some of the top players in the region. Several of whom have been here all week training, in a training camp with the regional development officer. So now they're putting their skills on test against some of the local players to see how everybody matches up.
Well, obviously I'm expecting myself to do as good as I possibly can. I hope to do really good in the tournament because I've been training up towards it. And yeah, what can I say?
I think I played well. I did what I was supposed to do.
Moms Youth Flag Football League continuing their season today at the field of Thomas Robinson Stadium. The BYFFL seeing great strides in development. Coach Reginald Monroe and player David Adderley.
And the kids have really grown exceptionally over the last few weeks. From their speed drill to catching, really some dynamic athletes that we have this season. Initially started, we had probably about 50 to 60 kids, and we're well up to over 150 or so, close to 200. So the league has really grown over the last few years, and we expect for it to continue to grow.
I'm enjoying it very well. I'm getting a lot of chances to get on the field and, get that energy and anger, So I think it's pretty good.
Like flag football?
Yes, sir. I think after this I'm going to do football.
In college basketball news, facing an early test against a perennial NCAA tournament team, Coach Yolette McPhee-McCoon and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels weren't able to withstand a second-half surge from the Oklahoma Sooners, falling 80-70 at home at the SJBP Pavilion, guided by Senator Collins' 15 points. Ole Miss could not slow down Oklahoma. Coach Yo on her team's performance.
You asked me in the pregame media what was I curious about. And what did I tell you? I said we hadn't been punched. So I was curious to see how we were going to react. So I don't know that I was surprised. I just didn't know. You know, we had been smooth sailing from Europe. And no matter what we've been telling them, things have just been working out. And so, again, I scheduled this game right now because we needed to be exposed. And either we were going to rise to the occasion or do what we did tonight.
That's when we look at your sports on this Saturday. A check on weather when we return.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Do you hear that? That's Junkanoo. And that means that the Boxing Day and New Year's Day Junkanoo parades are right around the corner. Don't get left behind. Make sure to book your ads in the live ZNS broadcast of the Junkanoo parades, the most professional coverage of our national art form. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800. Ask for the special Junkanoo advertising package and be a part of Junkanoo on the ZNS TV network.
Are you ready for some above-the-rim slam dunking action? You can catch it all with Marcellus Hall this coming Saturday, November 11th from the Kendall G.L. Isaacs Gym. The New Providence Basketball Association season tips off with a great game between the defending champs, the Carlsbad Giants. Will they stump their way to another title? Or will the discount distributor Rockets fly through the season this year and make it a change? The Rockets and the Giants, Saturday, November 11th, 9 o'clock. On the ZNet television network. You don't want to miss it.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jiminita. We have just a few clouds outside of our studios this evening. Temperature at 83 degrees. Relative humidity 74%. We have east-northeast winds at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,017.7 millibars. That's 30.05 inches. And your temperatures around the farming violence this evening. 82 degrees in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Green Tulkey, also in Abaco. Also Freeport, Grand Bahama reporting 82 degrees. The Berry Islands, 82. Allenstown, Bimini, 80 degrees. 82s again in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera at 83 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 83 as well. 83s in Kemp Space, Andros, Black Point, Exuma. Also in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma at 84 degrees. 83 in Ragged Island, Cloudstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawana at 81. Ackland's 81, Matthew Nagua 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight through Sunday, easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, and those wave heights, they're going to be just around 3 to 4 feet over the ocean. The low tide will occur at 6:40 in the morning with the high tide at 8:13 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands, we will have a zonal flow. That is winds blowing out of the east at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags are in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands right through Sunday. And our satellite pictures showing beautiful weather across the 700 islands. High pressure remain in control of our weather. And tonight we are looking at partly cloudy, a bit on the warm side, but there's still the possibility of a passing shower or two. Your high, low temperature just around 72 degrees. Now tomorrow, it's looking like this. Lots of sunshine in the forecast, a moderate breeze, but things are going to be a little stiffer in the central and southeastern parts of our country wind-wise. High temperature getting up to 85 degrees. And your extended weather forecast looking like this. Beautiful weather tomorrow. Chance of showers in the forecast on Monday. But come Tuesday, we'll start to see some clouds developing over the islands. And by Wednesday, there's going to be scattered showers and thunderstorms working their way into our forecast as a weak system pushes through the area. Things will not start clearing until we head into the weekend. But just before we leave, my neighbor Suzanne Simmons celebrates her birthday today, and to those of us there in Westwood Villas, we wish her well, and that's coming from me, Basil Dean, and also from my husband as well. Jiminita.
Well, thanks, Basil. Before we go as well, we send happy birthday wishes to our very own Mukesh Lapinda, who is also celebrating today. We hope you enjoyed your very special day. And that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.